Good morning, my breakfast buddies. So, yeah, I love what Michelle said about engaging and staying curious. And this was just something I recently heard towards the beginning of this year. And it was Gary Keller, started Keller Williams, has 180,000 agents around the country now. And he's just 20, 30 years down the road. He can see the future. And one thing he said when he was on stage that really stuck with me and is kind of how I operate with along with change is he just said, "You know what I do every day? I just observe. I'm There's no judgment, there's no coming up with stuff. I'm just observing everything that's happening." And then he's putting that through the filters and how it fits. And I love what you said, Michelle, because when you observe, when you come from that perspective and you're just in the moment, just paying attention to what's happening, when change does happen, you can actually see it. And I absolutely love those four steps, Elise, because when you're observing, you're aware. And because you're observing and not just flying so fast, just blinders on going, you can actually reframe, rethink, and begin to think about what that new structure looks like. And it's more of a natural change versus being forced to change, is kind of where this is going. So I'm just going to real quick run through some of the changing times that have gone through in my life and try to tag in, something of value that you might notice this stuff if you're paying attention. So I'm going to just kind of jump back to 1995 when I was going through my first divorce. Well, my only divorce. Been That's weird. I've been married three times and I've only had one divorce. How is that? That's just weird.
That's a good one.
Oh my gosh,
It's also just about the culture we're in.
exactly.
That it seems weird. That's what's funny.
I know. It just hit me when I said that, but it's like, divorce was not an option. And unfortunately, that takes two people to have that commitment, and one of the two did not. So I found myself being divorced, and we had three little girls. And man, I mean, after 6 years thinking everything was perfect, and then just get slapped in the face with that was like a big change. So now I had to become a single dad, and I was on a commission only income, trying to start a real estate business that was not going well, right? Then I'm take you down to 2014. We had a big team of 7 people. I mean, we had our big team, our real estate business had grown, and we had a team of people. And in 2014, overnight, everybody left because we put a team in place and we had some great accountability in place. In fact, one of the members of the newest member of the team that was going to generate the most opportunity for everyone was holding them all accountable. So everybody got mad at everybody and left, and change instantly overnight. It was really the systems that helped us not have to reframe and rethink much, like what Elise was saying. The systems kept rolling, and all of a sudden, it was me and Sonia, 2 people running a real estate business, selling 100 homes a year by ourselves. And we just stepped right into the system and kept the ball rolling. And we closed more houses in the next 2 months with no team than when we had a team. It's like, wow, is anybody following the system here? I'll go a little quicker now. 2015, 16, um, the end of 15, when I lost Sonia. I mean, we're talking 20-year marriage, and that just gets ripped away from me through her being in a coma for 5 months, and totally unexpected. So now all of a sudden I'm solo again. And believe me, there was a lot of rethinking there because my kids were getting older, coming out of high school. And that, I mean, when I talk about change, the positive change, that catapulted me into taking my real estate investments from just a couple of single family homes to moving to a multifamily property, because I thought, what the heck am I going to do with my free time now, right? If my kids are going to bail on me, what am I do every weekend? I'm going to go buy an apartment building and fix it up. So it took me into the multifamily world, which is that just created opportunity after opportunity. 2017, 2018. Well, actually, 2016, I end up becoming an author overnight with like one of the most ultimate small business gurus of all time, Michael Gerber. And I'm like an author. And it's like, what the heck? I hadn't even written any more than a business card book at that time, and I didn't even write that. It was ghostwritten. So now I'm a real author. 2017, 18. So change that book threw me into another area where somebody said, "Hey, roll your business in here. We'll help you launch your book." And that partnership for 2 years was not what it was appeared to be. It was a lot of smoke and mirrors, and there was nothing there, and almost put me out of business. So after 20-year, 25-year real estate business, selling 100 properties a year, I'm looking at, oh my gosh, for 2 years, nobody's run my business. And they said they were, and I was almost out of business. I looked back and I'd sold 30 homes that in 2018, going from 100. So I take control, change. It's like I got out of that situation, and coming from a business where I had teams and all these people and we're selling a ton of houses, 2019, 2020, I went solo. I don't know if you guys remember the McDonald's movie where the guy eats McDonald's every day, 3 times a day for like a month. Super Size Me. You,
Oh yeah.
so Super Size Me, he eats McDonald's every day for 30 days and he's tracking his health, right? And nobody would do that on purpose other than for like a study. And I've always looked at my real estate business as a laboratory or a study. Like when I coach people, I put that stuff into place and see if it actually gets the results and tweak it and figure it out. And that helps me help more people by plugging it into my business. So I kind of did the supersize me and I went solo agent. And I said, I'm going to sell 100 properties a year by myself with no assistance, just a system, right? So I plugged back in and got my systems back on track. There you go. Yeah, supersize me. Somebody just threw it up there. And so I would never do that on purpose because, when everybody in this room and a lot of people on the stage, and when we're coaching people, we talk about leverage and, all this stuff. Well, if you're a solo agent running 100 sales a year, there is no leverage. So I'm losing some business that could be coming in. However, that change made me hold everything accountable so that when I plug somebody back into the team, they can be ultra uber successful if they just plug into the system. And the system will actually tell me when they're not doing it. So now we're back to 2021, rebuilding the team, and now into 2022, where it's now changing again. It's like I came back from this conference this week and I said, what am I doing building my little team here in Kansas City? There are 60 to 80% of all real estate agents fail in real estate in the first 3 to 5 years. 60 to 80% get in hoping that this thing is going to work. And whatever reason they got in, that usually it's like a last ditch effort that I need to get stuff caught up. I need to get everything on track. And the whole industry, we lose at least 60% every 3 to 5 years. So it's like now the change is, all right, I need to quit playing around with just one or two agents here in Kansas City. I need to go big and expand and help everyone sell 100 homes a year, because it's a model. I mean, it's a predictable model. And it doesn't even matter what business it's in. I've talked about it before. So it's just, oh, and then the most recent one, oh, this is the exciting one. This change actually has been not something I would have expected to turn out the way it is, and never really looked at myself this way, but we have become, I mean, we are on the edge of empty nesters. I mean, I just took my youngest daughter from my first marriage to Chicago. Lynette's oldest son just bought his first house in St. Louis, and we've got one left in college that we not know isn't coming back. And I'm telling you what, I kind of like the empty nester change. This thing is cool. It's like, wow, the sink can stay empty. The lights get turned off, unless my wife turns them back on. The trash isn't jammed in the freaking trash thing. It's like, who put the last thing in here? Why didn't they take the trash out, right? So it's like kind of fun anyway. But anyway, so that's kind of the change is all over. And when you come from an observation level, it actually kind of makes change. I love change now. I like look forward to it because I'm aware of it by being in an observing mode. So that would be my share today, is to come back into that observe and pay attention and try not to get those blinders on and stuck in your own forest.
Mm, nice. And one of the things that I love about what you shared is that observation. And this shows everything that you have shared with us systematically. That you, first of all, you know your numbers, which is probably the underlying reason for your success. And also, as all of us can hear, Brad has this growth mindset. He sees when there's a change happens in the system, simply it's a feedback for him. It doesn't mean it's positive or negative, but it's an opportunity for him to be, do, and have better. Wow, that's something to learn. And from 7